often, taking it from my phone or a napkin or a notebook onto a computer, and then the sort of work to imagine what form might best fit the subject matter that I'm talking about, or the way that the poem is written. Often that work happens there. So, for example, in the collection, there's a poem about Willie Francis, who's a young man, a boy, who was killed by the electric chair in Louisiana, and he survived after the first time they put him in the electric chair, and then they put him back there a year later, and were successful. But I wanted to that poem went through a lot of different iterations, but it also was written with a certain staccato, right? So a sort of the syllabic meter. The meter of the poem is written in a way that is meant to mimic a heartbeat, um, and so it is written with this boom 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 boom. And so when I'm creating the poem, it probably is helpful to show people as I'm talking about it. When I'm creating the poem, I'm like, okay, well, how do I want the words to look on the page in a way that is going to reflect uh, that sort of heartbeat, that feeling of heartbeat. And so because I remember reading his account of what happened, and just he remembers he was talking about how he could feel his heart like thumping against his chest in this way that has stayed with him forever. And it's almost the way he talks about it, it's almost like he felt for so long, he felt it sort of perpetually beating in that way, even when it wasn't. Almost the way that, like, when a leg is amputated, people still feel the leg, the ghost of the leg, if you will, as if it's still there. It's almost as if he felt the sense of his heart beating as quickly and as heavily as it was in that moment. He felt throughout the next year of his life until he was killed again. And so the syllables, you can see I'll read the poem, maybe that'd be helpful, and then we'll talk about how um, the form. For Willie Francis, the first known person to survive an execution by electric chair, 1946. 17, black boy, tied down, both arms, one leg, head placed, in bag, tears flow, wet face, soft skin, mouth shut, eyes closed, heart beats, strap tight, head bends, prayer said, flip switch, boy yells, flip switch, boy screams, flip switch, boy still, they think, boy dead, boy breathes, he lives, just one more year, boy stays, boy says, please help, they say, we can't, he is, sent back, same chair, new sky, they try, again, they do not fail. And so for this poem, I wanted to create that sense of staccato, that sense of heartbeat. And so it's boom, 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 boom. And then I also wanted to create the image of the chair, since the chair is so central to um, to the subject matter of the poem. I thought it would be fascinating to sort of create have the form of the poem be in the shape of a chair, to sort of further reinforce um, the how cruel and barbaric what happened to this child was, to sort of force the reader to see, to directly confront, not only in the content of the poem but in the image of the poem, the chair um, that has brought on this violence to this boy. And so you make different decisions for each poem. There's a poem called Cartography, that is about sort of the process of erosion, sort of literal and metaphorical erosion. And so the poem itself is sort of beginning to erode as
Yeah.
you make your way down to the bottom. So you sort of make decisions based on the poem. Sometimes, it'll be a prose poem when you want people to um, sit with a block of text in a different way. If I want people to
Mm,
move through the poem quickly, then I'll probably have fewer lines,
mm,
or fewer words on each line. If I want it to be a sort of stream of consciousness, I don't use punctuation. All of those sorts of small decisions to help facilitate what I'm what I'm imagining the poem to do when a reader encounters it.